Welcome to Walking by Faith, a podcast from Torch Trust where we talk to blind and partially sighted people about how their lived experience of being visually impaired has impacted their faith and spiritual lives. I'm your host, Lynn Davis.
My name is Remi. Government knows me as Oluremi Abati, but I just keep it simple. Call me Remi. I am originally from Nigeria. I'm based in London, and I am currently a doctoral researcher and teacher at King's College London, where I'm researching on the accessibility of digital audio workstation to visual impaired producers. And I'm visual impaired myself. And yeah, I'm a Christian. So, and I think that's all for now.
When and how did you lose your sight?
I lose my sight when I was around 7, 8 years old. And that was in Nigeria. So obviously, I just returned from school on that fateful day, and I felt a slight headache, and the headache progressed into something more severe to the point that I couldn't go to school the next morning. I was taken to the hospital, and lo and behold, I became blind, so to say, due to the nature of my environment. As a child, the Yoruba myth, Yoruba spirituality believe that it is impossible for a child of my age, of my then age, to have disability. It must be something spiritual, if you see what I mean. So at that initial stage, it was spiritual intervention that was recommended. And it was even the ophthalmologist, the doctor whose hospital I was admitted in, that refer us to a native doctor, a witchcraft, to consult in order for the demons to be fought and defeated. Of course, that was not successful. Along the line, I went to an ophthalmologist who did different diagnoses, and he couldn't come up with a specific name, but he said my condition was between glaucoma and trachoma. Yeah, I was born in Lagos, but not the urban side of Lagos. It was more of the outskirts, like still Lagos, but not the mid-centered Lagos. So it was pretty much a neighborhood of average people. I don't know if that's the right word. What I mean is socioeconomic classification of that neighborhood wasn't up there, if you see what I mean. It was more about, just like working class or lower class area of Lagos, so to say. Yeah, and those areas, you see element of superstitious spirituality and direct, blaming everything on demons and every evil on demons, and running to God or the gods for rescue or cover.
When and how did you become a Christian then?
Well, traditionally, if you were born by Christians, you are meant to be a Christian. But it wasn't like that for me. I was following the game, following the art of culture up until a time in my life that I just decided to find God on my own, that I didn't want to inherit my faith. If it's something I should get on with, I wanted a discovery for myself, And so it was before I turned 18, and I became tired of going to church to seek miracle that never come. There was all this vision. People say, "Oh, you're gonna get your sight back in 2 weeks' time. Oh, someone is on the mountain. Oh, they are praying. And they brought this water to you, they brought this stuff to you. And all of that became so problematic that I find it difficult to believe them. So, and then in my head, I abandoned anything faith. But along the line, I discovered Christian, Jesus myself again. And that was after I became 18. Then I realized that my culture taught me about how to use God. If you see what I mean, you use God. There's difference between serving someone or using someone. So I came to this point that I felt, okay, I want to serve God, serve Jesus. I am not going to ask him to restore my sight. I just want to serve him because of his supremacy, because of his love for me. If he now chooses to restore my sight, that's his own job, not me. I will serve him. And it was after I turned 18 that I have my conviction and I felt, okay, Christianity is a thing, but I do not believe in the model of Christian practices by my culture, by my family, because I consider them to be performative, other than proper practices of Christianity.
How has your faith impacted your unique lived experience of being blind?
So many ways, but my faith has been key to where I am right now because since I discovered God independently, I have had tough time, when you are born in my type of environment where you have to learn how to get used to rejection, learn how to get used to abandonment. You have to learn how to develop a tough skin. And I thank God that throughout these processes, I have developed that strength, inner strength, that really gives me the ability to not get way down by everything I've seen, I've faced. So I pray, I fast sometimes, and I see God talking to me. I hear God talking to me, and sometimes when back then when people talk about talking to Holy Spirit to help you, it used to feel like one of those things. But I think I grew up to that point that even when I'm confused as a blind person, I just, oh, Holy Spirit, what's going on? I need direction. Even something might be as simple as trying to find where I kept my shoe or where I left something. After I must have tried and tried and said, oh, Holy Spirit, could you please show me where this thing is? And it will just happen. So I believe strongly that my faith has been so paramount to my survivor and key to what I've been able to achieve as a blind person.
How has being blind impacted your experience of church?
It has been a mix of disappointment and encouragement, and it depends on the church and the type of people in the church. Because as things stand, a lot of people are still not able to separate their cultural belief from their spiritual belief. And this intersectionality is such that I found problematic. Before many Christians, especially in the Pentecostal people, still believe that blindness is not a thing. Some people still have the belief that if you have not committed a sin, you will not have been blind. Forgetting that particular passage in the Bible when people were asking Jesus, was it about Bartimaeus, the blind guy? That whose sin? Was it the sin of his parents or, they forgot that part. So some people still believe that you need to be prayed for to be able to see. No matter how advanced you have come in life, even if you have PhD or professorship and all of that, they still don't see, your personality, it is your blindness they see. And that still happened in the church. So, and I, particularly in the Pentecostal and churches dominated by African people, and I kind of feel, like I said, I've grown that resilient to really be able to cope with this sort of thing. Although sometimes when I feel like, okay, I'm just going to say, hey, could you not say that? Could you not do that? But I think, yeah, it has been a mix of encouragement and disappointment.
Who has supported you through your faith journey?
Many people. I will never beat my chest and say, oh, I did it all alone. I made it myself. Many people. At some point in life, God just bring people to my life, and later on, they get preoccupied with something else and you're gone. So I have, yeah, quite a lot of them. In fact, there's this particular woman, Deaconess Juliana. She's wonderful. I love that lady. She is fantastic. She happens to be the one to give me my first birthday gift as an adult. And then I was like 27. So for you to know how dear her effort, her gesture was to me, and she has been, sometimes when I'm going through stuff, she just like, when I see her later on Sunday, she's just like, Brother Remi, oh, you came to my thought during the week and I was just praying for you. That connection that somebody's just praying for you when you're going through a lot. Sometimes she just sent me some spiritual quotation, and there was a time I was going through quite a lot and she just sent me stuff. And that thing was exactly speaking to my situation at that point. So I think I like her and many other people, I must confess, at one point or the other. But I think the church has been so important. Now, when I say this, people will say, what do you mean? And I still insist that no matter how discouraging the congregation can be sometimes, I still believe the church is the perfect place to be because I love the community and there are many good people there, there are many good individuals there. Although sometimes their attitude towards me as a blind person might be born by ignorance, by their own understanding of what should be. But overall, I would still prefer the church community in many ways.
How has your unique experience impacted on how you see God and God's love?
My unique experience has made me see God as God, and as God, the one who lifts people up, and the one that can relegate any arrogant idiot who is trying to share his glory with him. And I believe God is able to do all things. I believe God has the power to give me whatever I want. And I believe whatever God has not given me, maybe God kind of feel that it's not time to have such a thing. And I believe so much in the power of God because the distance I've come can only be God, if you see what I mean. I mean, God has come for me in many areas. Although some people in their limited curiosity will question my faith because I am not one that go about showing, I don't intimidate people with my faith. I pray and I believe we have responsibility as human beings. So, of course, I come from a culture where everything is being put on God, where people expect God to do everything for them. But so that has helped me to understand God better and believe much in worshiping God. I don't want to use God. I don't use God. I worship God for who he is. Because if I choose not to serve him, it's gonna, I'm gonna be the one at lost. So my experience has given me, yeah, better, strong faith in God. And I so much believe so.
What does walking by faith mean to you?
Walking by faith, it means to me the walk that fix your eyes on possibilities of life on possibilities of life, it's like it gives you an insight of who God is and what God can do. Of course, the starting point for me would be seeking direction from God. And if God tells you that this is a pathway, the walking in faith will keep me fixed on that approval from God. Of course, it's not going to come easy. There will be challenges, there will be problems. But if you can, I always recall past testimony, thinking about what God has done for me in the past, always keep me in focus that, okay, if God can get me a first degree, second degree on scholarship, get me a PhD on scholarship, come on, this God can do more. So I think my work in faith helped me to be more stronger and stay more positive about future and present and future possibility.
Have you got any wellness tips for the listeners? Maybe something that has helped you on your faith that maybe could be helpful to them?
Yeah, what I do personally, it might not work for other people, but what I do is this. Oftentimes, when I confront limitation of people get rude to me, when people look down on me, yes, I'll feel bad as a human being, but I always believe that they are just wrong. I believe human beings behave based on their ability to reason. I would just see their action as a reflection of their thinking. Therefore, I'm not going to get mad or waste my precious energy on getting angry at people who knows little about me. What people say about me do not really matter to me. It is what God says about me. And that has always helped me to stay focused and not allow the noise in the environment around me to distract my movement.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Walking by Faith. If you'd like to get in touch about anything you've heard on the podcast, or if you'd like to leave any comments or feedback, you may do so by phoning 01858 438 260 or by emailing info@torchtrust.org. We'll be back soon, but until then, from me, Lynn Davis, goodbye for now, and thanks for listening.